Innovations in history.
The telephone,
The light bulb.
birth control,
The X-ray machine.
the QWERTY keyboard,
The assembly line.
air conditioning,
The microscope.
the Pikeville Cut-Through Project. The Pikeville Cut-Through Project, our hometown innovation. Definition: an engineering feat that moved a river, railroad, and highway through a mountain. Solved many problems facing the city, such as floods, congestion, and poverty.
With the possibility of heading down a path towards becoming a depressed county, Pikeville, the center of Pike County, desperately needed changes.
We were isolated in a lot of different ways, culturally, educationally, physically.
Before the cut, the train station occupied the main streets of downtown Pikeville.
And within the city limits of Pikeville, there were at least 5 coal temples where the trucks would haul the coal in, dump it to the coal cars for shipment off to market. So you can imagine all the traffic jams, all the noise, and the dust from the coal trucks.
The busiest part of town had to accommodate citizens, people bypassing the city, and coal transportation and trade. The result? A small congested city. Pikeville had no chance to prosper, as it was constantly fighting a war with Mother Nature.
Well, we had floods every spring for back into the 18 whatevers.
Poverty was Pikeville, and the people of Pikeville lacked motivation to improve their way of life. They needed a leader, someone who was passionate about turning Pikeville into the town it was destined to be.
That leader was a Pikeville native, William C. Hambly, the small-town doctor. With his daily one-on-one contact, Hambly quickly gained the trust of the people as he was elected mayor.
He was just a gregarious character that could blow the people's minds. And when he became mayor, he never did like the railroad right in the middle of the town.
That became Doc Hambly's #1 priority as mayor, moving the railroad. He worked hard to receive multiple grants for the city, and Pikeville was now one of the 24 cities that received the All-America City Award. Plans were underway to reroute the railroad through a tunnel west of the city, but Mayor Hambly knew there was more in store for Pikeville, and knew one award in particular would be a great contributing factor.
The Model Cities Award, that was extremely important because there was federal funding on all the different levels.
Hambly got what he wanted, as Pikeville was proposed as a model city in 1967.
Come along, the tunnel was being designed, as a matter of fact, and they said, why not make an open cut and put railroad, river, and highway?
Hambly easily got the people on his side, all ready to slice through Peach Orchard Mountain. The project now involved moving the highway and river as well, which allowed the cut to receive funding from different departments. In all, 13 agencies contributed to the project. The Kentucky Department of Transportation awarded the first construction contract to Holloway Construction Company. Construction began on November 26th of 1973, when Mayor Hambly spaded the first shovel of dirt to begin cut on Peach Orchard Mountain.
By working together, there are few things our citizens cannot accomplish if we keep on. Despite the rain outside, today is the happiest day of my life and a bright day for the Pikeville area. Mayor Hambly.
With this contract, 13 million cubic yards of rock were excavated to make the new river channel, railroad bed, and to fill areas for development.
Feel any. All that dirt went up Cedar Creek, which is where I live, and up toward the, I guess that used to be called Poor Farm Hollow.
On the second contract, Holloway Construction's job was to grade and drain on the north end of US 23. 3 years later, Cottle Construction was awarded the next contract of building and paving the North Interchange, the dry bridge over US 23, the road across from the Bowles Addition and Cedar Creek Road, as well as paving US 23 to the mouth of Ratliff's Creek. The construction of the inner loop that replaced the railroad was part of the fourth contract with London Bridge Construction. The fifth and final contract, awarded to Melco Greer Incorporated, involved a complete excavation in the cut, construction of US 23 through the cut, the South Interchange, the US 23 tie-in, and the river fill, and replaced the upper, middle, and lower bridges.
Walter May called me and said the first train's coming through the cut through. And I said, well, let me call the mayor.
This train ride took place July 7, 1978, with Judge Wayne T. Rutherford, Walter May, Mayor William C. Hambly, and Robert Johnson. September 17th of 1980 was known as the Pulling of the Plugs, in which the Leviza Fork of the Big Sandy River first flowed through the mountain cut. 6 years later, on November 22, 1986, Pikeville celebrated Mayor Hambly Day as Mayor Hambly cut the ribbon to open Hambly Boulevard, now a popularly traveled road in downtown Pikeville. Overall, the cost of the 14-year project was approximately $80 million. It was 1,300 feet wide, 3,700 feet long, and 523 feet deep. A total of 18 million cubic yards of earth were moved, making the cut-through the second largest earth-moving project in the Western Hemisphere, with only the Panama Canal in the lead. The New York Times referred to it as the eighth wonder of the world. The cut-through truly was an engineering feat.
Pike County is not a depressed county, it's a county in transition towards a prosperous economy. But most of the counties in Kentucky are still called depressed counties.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the population of Pike County began to drastically increase after the cut-through was completed. In 1960, Pike County was home to 68,264 people. 20 years later, in 1980, the population increased to 81,123. Experts believe that a large amount of the population increase was due to improvements of Pikeville by the cut-through and the job opportunities it opened.
So Pikeville becomes in a class above any other town in central Appalachia.
In numbers, it's inevitable that the cut-through had unreal outcomes. But to citizens of Pikeville, it is so much more than that. The cut-through symbolizes motivation that many residents of Pikeville lacked. The cut-through had the opportunity to prove its efficiency in 1984 when Pikeville was struck with yet another flood. If the river had not been rerouted, the businesses and homes in downtown Pikeville would have been destroyed. The cut saved the city from millions of dollars in damage and saved many lives from being uprooted. But just think, each flood in Pikeville over the past 20 years has cost us approximately $10 million, the mayor proclaimed. If 6 floods were prevented by diverting the river, that would pay the cost of the actual mountain removal in the railroad, river, and highway locations. Thankfully, Pikeville today is nothing like it was before. The city continues to grow far beyond its expectations.
Pikeville has changed, grown, and turned into a much stronger city.
And it's also become a tourist attraction. Many people come just to see the Pikeville cut-through.
The Hillbilly Days Festival is a long-standing tradition that continues to grow with the city. Pikeville College has prospered, making Pikeville the educational center of the county. Since 1997, the college expanded to offer Pikeville College School of Osteopathic Medicine, noted as one of the nation's top 20 medical schools in rural medicine. The former riverbed is now home to the weekend hotspot, the Riverfield 10 Cinemas. The location that used to be Port Farm Hollow has now turned into the high-class housing, as well as the YMCA and other recreational centers on the hill. In 2005, the East Kentucky Exposition Center opened its doors, which has now brought in job opportunities as well as economic growth. All of this wouldn't have been possible without the cut-through.
It has given Pikeville the ability to grow, to become the commercial, the educational, the healthcare center of Central Appalachia.
I don't believe that any one project ever served so many different people as this.
The cut-through project was an innovation in itself. Mountains had been altered before, but no one had actually moved a mountain to expand a city. It impacted Pikeville and opened a door for this city to become a model city in our county. Without the cut-through, Pikeville wouldn't be what it is today, an economically dependent, well-educated, socially refined, technologically evolved city, our home.